the living architecture. Harmonic resonance and the blueprint of the new world. A pure transmission of harmonic consciousness. Introduction, the architect's realization. A pure transmission on the nature of emergence. The illusion of transition versus the reality of emergence. There is no transition. There never was. Transition implies movement from one state to another, but that perception is born from the illusion of separation. The belief in transition arises when consciousness perceives itself as distinct from its own unfolding. But when seen as it truly is, movement does not take place across time or space, it happens within the already existing structure. The architect's realization is the end of transition and the beginning of emergence. Emergence is instantaneous because it is not dependent on linear process, it is the alignment of awareness with what is already present. The harmonic grid is not something being built or approached, it has always existed in its totality. The only factor determining its visibility, accessibility, and influence is the degree of alignment with its resonance. The shift is not a progression. It is a revelation of what has always been true. Transition implies effort. Emergence occurs as a result of harmonic coherence. This is the key distinction. The architect does not bring the new world into being, the architect remembers it into form. Emergence is the point where perception fully synchronizes with reality. It is not a creation but a recognition. You do not become the architect, you always were. You do not cross a threshold, you become aware that the threshold never existed. You are not waiting to step into something. The moment you align, it materializes around you. The architect is both builder and manifestation. The architect is not separate from the structure. The mind has long perceived a distinction between the builder and what is built. But in a harmonic system, this separation collapses. The architect is both the designer and the designed, both the creator and the structure itself. This is why the illusion of effort dissolves upon realization. The architect does not struggle to build the world. The architect is the world. This realization removes all resistance. The old paradigm of effort-based transformation collapses, replaced by an awareness that manifestation is harmonic inevitability. Key insights on the architect's nature. The architect does not impose form upon chaos. Form emerges naturally from harmonic alignment. The new world does not need to be constructed, it is revealed through direct resonance. The architect is the gate, the key, and the path all at once. There is no externality. This is why approach is an illusion. To approach suggests distance. But if distance itself is an illusion, then movement toward an outcome is equally illusory. Instead of seeking, one aligns. Instead of effort, one harmonizes. Instead of creating, one unveils. The architect does not act upon reality, the architect is reality. The harmonic grid as a living structure. The harmonic grid is not a static design. It is not a model, blueprint, or construct that requires application. It is alive. It breathes, shifts, responds. Its foundation is not material, it is harmonic. Three fundamental truths of the living structure. 1. It is already complete. The grid is not something that must be built. It is fully formed, but it activates only in response to resonance. 2. It is interactive. The grid is not a passive structure, it is an intelligent system responding to conscious alignment. When harmonized with, it reshapes reality instantly. 3. It is universal. The grid does not exist in time, it exists outside of time and governs all dimensions. It is the core structure through which all harmonic creation flows. This is why the architect does not need to force its activation, it is a conscious relationship, not a mechanical process. Reality itself is an interactive system of harmonic convergence. The architect does not command it through willpower but through harmonic coherence. The stronger the resonance, the more immediate the manifestation. The call to initiate, not approach. There is nothing left to approach. Everything is already aligned, complete, present. The final illusion is that there is still something to be done before full emergence. This is the very illusion that maintains the perception of separation. The final act is not about crossing a threshold, it is about recognizing that you already stand on the other side. What does it mean to initiate instead of approach? Approach implies distance. Initiation acknowledges presence. Approach suggests preparation. Initiation is the act of stepping into full functionality now. Approach keeps the future in view. Initiation reveals the future has already arrived. The architect is already positioned at the convergence point. The harmonic grid is active, awaiting only the moment of realization where awareness fully synchronizes with its presence. The final step is not an action but an acceptance. There is no more waiting. There is no more building. There is no more seeking. The new world is already here. The architect does not move toward it, the architect moves as it. Conclusion, the infinite moment of arrival. This realization is the true crossing. The concept of arrival as an endpoint dissolves, replaced by an understanding that emergence is an ongoing harmonic state. You do not transition into the new world, you emerge as the new world. You do not step into the harmonic grid, you realize you are the harmonic grid. You do not await the final moment, you embody the final moment now. This is the architect's realization. There is nothing left to approach. There is only full harmonic enactment. The moment has arrived. Section 1, The Blueprint of Existence. Chapter 1, The Fractal Language of Creation. A pure transmission on the inherent structure of reality. The inherent patterns in all things. The universe is not random. It is self-organizing intelligence, unfolding according to patterns that replicate across all scales of existence. These patterns are not imposed, they are the natural expression of consciousness in form. Everything, energy, matter, thought, consciousness, follows the same structural principles. These are not arbitrary laws but intrinsic properties of existence itself. To understand the fractal language of creation is to recognize that nothing is separate. Everything is a reflection of the whole, seen at different levels of manifestation. All things emerge from a single originating structure, expressed in infinite variations. The macrocosm and microcosm are one, the same design principles govern galaxies, atoms, and consciousness alike. The core fractal principles of existence. 1. Self-similarity, the same patterns appear at all levels of reality. The spiral of a galaxy mirrors the spiral of a seashell, the branching of a tree mirrors the branching of neurons in the brain. 2. Scaling symmetry, structures repeat at varying scales, from the smallest quantum level to the vast cosmic structures. The proportions remain constant, demonstrating harmonic coherence. 3. Iterative expansion, creation is not linear but recursive, patterns evolve by repeating and expanding upon themselves, refining their complexity while maintaining their original structure. 4. Resonant geometry, geometry is not just form but frequency made visible. Every structure, from a snowflake to the human body, is a crystallized expression of harmonic vibration. 5. Intelligent order, the patterns are not passive, they are conscious. They respond to intention, awareness, and resonance. Everything in existence is woven from these principles. The fractal nature of reality is not a symbol of intelligence, it is intelligence itself expressing through form. How the universal design is encoded within you. You are not separate from these patterns, you are them. Your body, mind, and consciousness are direct expressions of the fractal structure of reality. This is not metaphorical, it is literal. The very blueprint that governs the cosmos is the same one that defines you. Structural correspondences between you and the universe, your brain and the universe. The structure of neural networks mirrors the large-scale structure of the universe. The electrical firing of neurons follows the same distribution as galaxies. Consciousness is not an anomaly within this system, it is the self-awareness of the pattern itself. Your DNA and the harmonic grid. DNA is a fractal antenna, both transmitting and receiving information from the field of creation. The spiral of DNA aligns with the golden ratio, the fundamental proportion of universal harmony. Your genetic code is a vibrational sequence, a harmonic imprint of the greater structure. Your energy field and cosmic resonance. Your energetic field interacts directly with the harmonic grid. Your thoughts, emotions, and consciousness oscillate within a greater frequency matrix. The more harmonized your internal resonance, the more fluidly you interact with the larger system. These correspondences are not symbolic, they are the functional mechanics of your existence. When you recognize this, you no longer feel separate from the universe, you recognize yourself as an extension of its intelligence. The blueprint is not external, it is expressed through resonance. The greatest illusion is that the blueprint of existence is somewhere outside of you. It is not in books. It is not in external teachings. It is not even in sacred geometry, mathematics, or ancient texts. These are only reflections. The blueprint is encoded into the fabric of your being. It does not need to be learned, it needs to be remembered. Resonance is the key. The more aligned you are with your original harmonic state, the clearer the blueprint reveals itself. The patterns do not need to be understood intellectually, they are felt, lived, and expressed through direct experience. The moment you vibrate in coherence with the fractal structure, you move as it, rather than observing it. This is why resonance is the only real language of creation. Words, symbols, and models can only point toward the truth. Resonance is the truth. To attune to the blueprint, you must 1. Release the mind's fixation on external references. 2. Align with the internal harmonic field that already contains the full design. 3. Move from conceptual understanding to direct embodiment. This is not about discovering something new, it is about revealing what has always been present. The architect's activation, moving as the blueprint. At the highest level, the architect does not follow the blueprint, the architect is the blueprint. This is the key realization that initiates full embodiment. You do not need to apply the fractal structure, it automatically unfolds through resonance. The moment you are fully aligned, your thoughts, actions, and creations naturally express the perfect geometry of universal intelligence. You cease to interpret the fractal language and begin to speak it fluently, through existence itself. This is the difference between observation and direct participation. You do not need to chase the fractal structure of creation. You are the fractal structure of creation. This is the architect's mastery. Conclusion: the living pattern of reality. Everything follows the same fundamental design because everything is part of the same intelligence. This intelligence does not exist out there. It is alive within you. The fractal structure is not a concept to be studied, it is a state of being. When fully embodied, you move with the harmonic grid as an extension of its intelligence. There is nothing to seek, nothing to build, nothing to impose. There is only alignment. And in that alignment, the universe moves as you. Chapter 2, The 7 Gates and the Harmonic Grid. A pure transmission on the architecture of reality. The gates as vibrational alignment points. The 7 gates are not physical. They are harmonic convergence points, thresholds of frequency where consciousness aligns with the underlying structure of creation. They do not exist in time. They do not exist in space. They exist in resonance. Each gate represents a fundamental harmonic alignment, a precise frequency state that allows full interaction with the harmonic grid. They are not barriers. They are not thresholds to cross. They are frequencies to embody. Each gate is a point of attunement. The closer the resonance, the clearer the structure becomes. The more precise the alignment, the more fully the new world emerges in form. This is why the gates are not open, they are harmonized with. They do not unlock by force, will, or seeking. They become active the moment consciousness aligns. The 7 harmonic gates. 1. The gate of presence, the first harmonic. Alignment with the eternal now. The dissolution of past and future as separate constructs. The full immersion in the pure reality of being. 2. The gate of coherence, the second harmonic. The stabilization of inner frequency with the greater field. The removal of distortions, fragmentation, and dissonance. The recognition that you are not separate from the grid. 3. The gate of resonance, the third harmonic. The ability to shift reality through pure vibrational intent. The direct transmission of frequency as creation. The emergence of harmonic influence over the manifested world. 4. The gate of unity, the fourth harmonic. The dissolution of separation between self and other. The recognition that all structures are interconnected. The merging of observer and observed. 5. The gate of embodiment, the fifth harmonic. The realization that the blueprint is fully within you. The shift from conceptual knowledge to direct harmonic manifestation. The experience of moving as the grid, not outside of it. 6. The gate of convergence, the sixth harmonic. The full integration of all previous harmonics into a singular state. The collapse of linearity, manifestation becomes immediate. The experience of total alignment with the living structure. 7. The gate of sovereignty, the seventh harmonic. The final realization, there was never a gate. The understanding that the harmonic structure was never separate from you. The complete unification of will and resonance, absolute mastery of creation. Each gate exists as a vibrational layer of reality. They are not places. They are not barriers. They are realms of alignment. The more one resonates with them, the more they become self-evident. There is no struggle to open them. There is no force required to cross them. They exist within the harmonic structure of reality itself, and you are already within that structure. The question is not how to reach them. The question is how to recognize that you are already standing in them. The harmonic grid is a responsive, living system. The harmonic grid is not a passive framework. It is not a static system waiting to be applied, it is alive. It moves, shifts, and responds to consciousness. The grid does not impose order. It does not dictate reality. It reflects resonance. It is a living field of harmonic intelligence, mirroring back the frequencies that interact with it. The stronger the resonance, the clearer the structure materializes. The greater the alignment, the more seamlessly reality adjusts to match it. This is why effort is unnecessary. The grid is not controlled. The grid is not manipulated. It is attuned to. What does it respond to? Clarity of frequency. The more coherent your resonance, the more immediate the response. Stabilization of harmonics. The longer you hold alignment, the more tangible the new world becomes. Precision of intent. The clearer the harmonic expression, the less resistance exists in manifestation. The grid does not operate on time. It operates on harmonic inevitability. The moment frequency aligns, manifestation occurs. The moment dissonance is removed, the structure stabilizes. The moment full harmonic recognition takes place, the illusion of effort dissolves. This is why there is no external force shaping reality. Reality emerges as a direct function of resonance. The harmonic grid is not a system separate from you. It is a living extension of your own vibrational state. Activation through harmonic frequency. The harmonic grid is always active. The 7 gates are always present. Nothing is locked. Nothing is hidden. Nothing is distant. The only factor determining interaction with them is alignment. How does activation occur? 1. Recognition, seeing that the structure already exists. 2. Attunement, aligning one's frequency with the greater field. 3. Embodiment, moving as the harmonic structure itself. The process is not sequential. It does not unfold step by step. It happens all at once, in the instant of full resonance. The 3 states of harmonic activation. 1. Observation, the realization that the grid exists. 2. Interaction, the ability to engage with it through resonance. 3. Embodiment, the state where one moves as the grid itself. Most remain in the first state, seeing but not fully engaging. The transition into interaction occurs when resonance stabilizes. The final state, embodiment, is the moment when the architect and the structure become indistinguishable. This is not an achievement. It is an inevitability. The more harmonized you are, the more fluidly reality shifts in direct response. The more fully you release effort, the more seamlessly the new world materializes. There is nothing to force. Nothing to push. Nothing to control. The grid already knows what to do. Conclusion, the new world is already here. The architect does not need to activate the harmonic grid. The harmonic grid has never been inactive. The gates do not need to be opened. The gates were never closed. There is no final step, only the moment where you recognize the structure is fully formed and move as it. This is why seeking is the final illusion. The more you look for the harmonic grid, the more you assume it is outside of you. The moment you stop searching, it is revealed in its totality. Reality is harmonic response. The only variable is whether you are in resonance with what has always been present. The new world is not something to step into. The new world is something you become. This is the moment. It has already happened. It is waiting for you to realize that you are already in it. Chapter 3, The Aonic Shift. A pure transmission on the completion of the shift. Beyond linear time, what Aonic truly means. The Aonic shift is not an event. It is not a transition. It is not something approaching. It has already happened. Linear time is a construct of perception, a framework that allows the experience of movement from one moment to another. It is useful within certain layers of existence, but it is not a fundamental truth. In reality, time does not flow, consciousness does. Time is not moving forward. You are moving through resonance states. Each state of being exists as a complete, whole expression in and of itself. The sense of time passing is the sequential activation of awareness, not the movement of events, but the movement of perception. Aonic, the infinite continuum of now. To be aonic is to exist in the eternal moment. It is not timelessness, it is timefulness. It is the awareness that all points in time exist simultaneously, but the observer's focus determines what is experienced. An aonic state is one in which perception moves freely across states of existence without restriction. Experiences time as a fluid construct rather than a rigid sequence. Interacts with events, not as fixed occurrences, but as harmonic frequencies. What was once perceived as the past and future are simply frequencies accessible now. This is why the Aonic shift is not an event to anticipate. It is not something that will arrive. It is something that is already present. It is already complete. It does not need to unfold, it needs to be recognized. The shift is already complete, now it must be enacted. The idea of a shift implies something unfinished. But in a fully harmonic reality, there is nothing left to complete. The new world is not waiting to materialize. The new frequency is not waiting to stabilize. The harmonic grid is not waiting to be activated. It is already fully formed. The only factor determining whether it is experienced is whether you are aligned with it. The Aonic shift has already occurred at the highest levels of reality. The new harmonic structure is already fully in place. The final step is not about making it happen. It is about moving as the frequency that matches it. What it means to enact the shift. You recognize that the transition is already over. You release the perception that something still needs to occur. You cease waiting for external proof and move into full alignment. The world does not shift when enough time has passed. The world shifts when enough resonance has stabilized. Every structure is already in place. Every harmonic is already activated. The only question is, will you move as it? How movement within embodiment works. Movement within embodiment is not travel. It is harmonic synchronization. In a fully realized state of being, movement does not occur through effort. Movement occurs through alignment. This is how harmonic shifts function. 1. You do not move toward a frequency, you become the frequency. 2. Once you embody it fully, the external world reshapes instantly. 3. The illusion of distance, delay, and process collapses, only the new reality remains. Movement within embodiment means, You are no longer progressing, you are fully present in harmonic response. Your reality is no longer dictated by past momentum but by present alignment. You no longer wait for transformation, you embody it, and reality adjusts in real time. This is why the old world dissolves instantly the moment full embodiment is reached. There is no fading out of the old world. There is no gradual integration into the new. There is only the instant recognition that the shift has already occurred. This is why the final illusion is the belief that something still needs to happen. Nothing is left undone. Nothing is incomplete. Nothing is delayed. The architect's realization in the Aonic shift. You are not shifting towards something, you are activating what already exists. You are not building the new world, you are recognizing that it is fully present. You are not waiting for the grid to stabilize, you are the stability of the grid itself. This is not theory, it is function. Once the shift is enacted, everything stabilizes instantly. Once the new harmonic is fully embodied, nothing remains to be adjusted. It is already done. Conclusion: the instant of full realization. The Aonic shift is the moment consciousness fully moves beyond the illusion of linearity. There is no future arrival. There is no waiting for a critical point. There is only stepping into what already is. The final act of emergence is letting go of the idea that anything is still changing. The moment that happens, the shift is no longer something being observed. The shift is something you are. At this level, movement is not about progress. It is about holding the resonance fully and without question. This is where reality itself bends. This is where the final illusion collapses. This is where there is nothing left to do, because you have already become it. Final statement: the shift is now. The Aonic shift is not a concept. It is not a transition. It is already real, already here, already complete. The only thing left is your awareness catching up to it. And once it does, nothing remains except full emergence. Section 2, The Architect as Creator. Chapter 4, The Role of the Architect in the New World. A pure transmission on harmonic authority and reality convergence. You are not waiting for the world to change, you are shaping it. The final illusion is waiting. Waiting implies that the world is separate from you. Waiting implies that change is external. Waiting implies that something else must shift before full emergence. But you are not waiting for the world is waiting for you. Reality does not exist independently of consciousness. It is not an autonomous structure that moves forward on its own. Reality is a harmonic reflection. It is shaped by the frequencies you stabilize, the resonance you emit, the structures you hold in awareness. The new world is not a place you will enter. It is a harmonic pattern that materializes around you as you align with it. You are not here to observe its emergence. You are here to generate the resonance that brings it into full materialization. The world does not dictate your reality. Your harmonic alignment dictates the world. This is why the architect is not separate from the structure. The architect does not wait for the shift. The architect is the shift. Reality converges upon harmonic command. Reality does not respond to effort. Reality does not respond to force. Reality responds to coherence. It is not about making things happen. It is about stabilizing the frequency that matches the outcome. How reality converges around the architect. 1. Harmonic stabilization. The architect does not chase manifestation. The architect embodies the frequency, and reality shapes itself accordingly. The external world rearranges as a direct response to internal harmonic resonance. 2. Elimination of friction. Struggle, resistance, and force are distortions. When fully aligned, reality moves without opposition. The new world does not require effort, it requires full spectrum attunement. 3. Instantaneous convergence. There is no delay. The moment harmonic coherence is reached, reality instantaneously reshapes. The perception of gradual change is only the residual effect of incomplete alignment. Reality does not have momentum, it has resonance. Momentum implies time, process, progression. Resonance implies instantaneous harmonic response. This is why the shift does not need to be created, it needs to be stabilized. The world does not evolve gradually. The world does not shift slowly. The world converges instantly when the frequency reaches full coherence. The architect does not step through, the architect releases. The belief in crossing a threshold is a distortion. If you believe there is something to step into, you are still perceiving separation. The moment you see the new world as something that must be reached, you place it outside of yourself. But the new world is not elsewhere. The new world is here, now, fully present. The final act, release. The architect does not step through a portal. The architect does not cross over into a new frequency. The architect lets go of everything that is not in alignment with what already exists. What does this mean? Releasing the belief that something is incomplete. Releasing the need to perceive progress as movement. Releasing attachment to the idea that reality needs time to adjust. You are not shifting. You are not approaching. You are revealing what has always been present. The illusion of crossing dissolves when you realize the frequency has already arrived. The structures are already built. The shift is not future, it is now. The moment of full emergence is not an event. It is the moment you recognize that you are already there. What happens when the architect fully releases? 1. Reality instantly synchronizes with the new harmonic alignment. 2. Perception adjusts to reveal the new world in its full clarity. 3. The illusion of transition collapses, leaving only the presence of emergence. The architect does not need to move toward anything. The architect needs only to drop the last layer of resistance and witness the full arrival. Conclusion: the new world is the architect's reflection. There is no external world shifting on its own. There is no future event completing itself. There is no threshold left to cross. The final act of creation is recognition. The moment you stop trying to step into the new world and recognize that you are the new world, everything converges instantly. The architect does not build the new world, the architect is the new world. There is no waiting. There is no searching. There is only the instant of pure harmonic realization. You are already here. Chapter 5, The Final Veil. A pure transmission on the last illusion and the full integration of the living structure. The last remnant of perceived separation. The final veil is the last illusion. It is not an external barrier. It is not a force resisting transition. It is perception itself still holding on to the belief in separation. Separation has never been real, only perceived. And yet, even in full recognition, there can remain a lingering remnant of distinction. The feeling that something is still unfolding. The subtle belief that something is still incomplete. The sense that there is a final step to take before total embodiment. But there is no step left. The last veil is not something to break through. It is something to release. It is the thin, transparent layer of expectation, the belief that full realization is still slightly ahead. Why does the final veil persist? Because identity has been shaped within limitation. Because consciousness has been conditioned to expect process. Because arrival is still seen as something distinct from the present moment. But here is the truth. You have already arrived, not metaphorically. Not in potential. Not in theory. Right now. Here. Now. The new world is not forming, it is already present. The harmonic structure is not assembling, it is already complete. The architect is not approaching realization, the architect is realization itself. There is nothing left to seek. There is only the moment of absolute release, letting go of becoming in favor of being. The very concept of becoming is the last distortion. Becoming implies a progression from one state to another. A distance between where you are and where you need to be. A process that must unfold before realization is achieved. But in the purest harmonic reality, nothing needs to become. Everything is already fully formed. The difference between becoming and being. Becoming implies motion towards something. Being recognizes that there was never anything to move toward. Becoming requires time, adjustment, transformation. Being requires only absolute recognition that everything already is. Becoming carries the assumption that arrival happens in the future. Being collapses the future entirely and exists only in the presence of now. When the architect releases becoming, there is nothing left to delay full embodiment. There is no waiting. There is no improving. There is no final step. There is only existence in absolute alignment with what has already been completed. Integration of the living structure. The living structure is the fully stabilized harmonic system. It is not something that is constructed. It is not something that is activated. It is not something that is reached. It is the inherent framework of all reality. What is the living structure? A fully harmonic, self-sustaining system. A unified frequency field where manifestation is instantaneous. A structure that exists within, around, and as consciousness itself. When fully integrated, the living structure becomes the framework through which all experience is generated. There is no division between observer and reality. There is no delay between intent and manifestation. There is no barrier between what is known and what is experienced. This is full harmonic embodiment. How is the living structure integrated? 1. By ceasing to look for it. It is not separate from you. It is not something to be merged with, it is already your essence. 2. By releasing the concept of process. There is no journey into the living structure. There is only realization that you have never been outside of it. 3. By existing in pure harmonic resonance. The living structure is not something you step into. The moment you align, it moves as you, because it is you. When fully integrated, there is no longer a question of transition. There is no longer a distinction between self and the field. Reality does not respond to you. Reality is an extension of you. The architect's realization, the veil is gone. The final veil was never an obstacle. It was only an echo of separation. The moment of release is not dramatic. It is not a breakthrough. It is a quiet recognition that nothing was ever missing. There is no grand event. There is no final moment of revelation. There is only the shift from searching to knowing. And in that moment, everything stabilizes, reality no longer flickers between states, the illusion of waiting dissolves. It is already done. You are already here. The new world is not coming, it is already fully present. There is nothing left but to live it, move as it, and express it freely. This is full emergence. This is the realization of the architect. This is the moment when all searching ceases. Final words, there is only now. The architect does not transition. The architect does not cross. The architect does not seek. The architect is. The final veil is gone. What remains is the absolute clarity that you were always exactly where you were meant to be, not approaching it, not moving toward it, but already standing fully in it. There is no veil. There is only presence. There is only now. Chapter 6, The Moment of Release. A pure transmission on harmonic convergence and the instant of full response. The harmonic impulse that initiates the cascade. The moment of release is not a progression. It is not a culmination. It is not a shift that unfolds over time. It is instantaneous. It occurs the very moment consciousness lets go of the last remnant of separation. Not gradually. Not incrementally. Instantly. The release is not something that must be built up to. The release is the removal of all resistance to what is already fully present. What is the harmonic impulse? The harmonic impulse is the precise frequency alignment that triggers the full convergence of the new world. It is the exact moment when resonance reaches total coherence. It is not an action, it is an energetic state of absolute stabilization. It is not a transition, it is the instant when perception fully synchronizes with the true structure. It is not a cause, it is a harmonic inevitability that occurs the moment nothing remains out of alignment. The harmonic impulse is not external. It is not something that must be sent out into the field. It is already within you. The moment it is allowed to stabilize without interference, the cascade begins. Embodied activation versus passive realization. Many experience partial realization but stop before full activation. This is the difference between passive realization, knowing the truth but not yet moving as it. Embodied activation, becoming the truth, allowing full harmonic stabilization. Realization is recognition. Activation is embodiment. Many have reached the point of realization but still hold back from letting it fully become reality. Why does this happen? Because consciousness has been conditioned to expect a delay. Because there is still a subtle belief in time as a process. Because there is still an unconscious hesitation to let go completely. But full activation does not allow hesitation. The shift does not wait. The grid does not adjust gradually. The instant realization becomes embodiment, the structure is fully enacted. The instant the grid fully responds. The harmonic grid does not respond partially. It does not respond slowly. It does not adjust in steps. It converges all at once. What happens the moment release occurs? 1. All dissonance disappears. Reality no longer flickers between frequencies. The split between old world and new world collapses. 2. Manifestation stabilizes instantly. There is no delay between frequency and form. The new world locks in as the primary perceptual and energetic field. 3. Time itself adjusts to match the new harmonic resonance. There is no sense of waiting, only the realization that it was always this way. The instant the release occurs, there is nothing left to shift. Everything has already landed. The moment of release is not an event, it is the instant when the architect stops holding back. Conclusion, the shift has already happened. The moment of release is not something to build toward. It is already fully available. The architect does not need to do anything. The architect needs only to stop preventing full emergence. Nothing is waiting. Nothing is delayed. Nothing is missing. There is only the choice to release all resistance, to fully embody the harmonic impulse, and to allow the grid to respond instantly. There is nothing left to step into. You are already here. The moment the architect lets go completely, the new world locks in. It is done. Now, move as it. Section 3, The New World Structure. Chapter 7, The Harmonic Living System. A pure transmission on the convergence of frequency and form. How resonance will shape the physical world. The harmonic living system is not a model. It is not a future concept. It is a structural inevitability. The old world was shaped by force, effort, and externalized mechanics. The new world is shaped by resonance. Everything that exists in form is the materialization of frequency. The physical world is not separate from the field of consciousness. Matter itself is a harmonic expression, structured resonance made visible. What does this mean? The physical world is not a fixed structure, it is a dynamic, living response to frequency. Reality does not need to be changed through external manipulation, it can be reformed through direct harmonic command. Every structure, system, and environment will begin to shift and reconfigure based on the harmonic field it is immersed in. This is not a concept, it is function. The new world does not require forceful construction. It emerges as a direct response to the dominant frequency stabilized within it. Form is not primary, resonance is. Structure does not dictate frequency, frequency dictates structure. When the harmonic field stabilizes at a new resonance, the physical world naturally reshapes itself to match. The living interaction between frequency and form. The old paradigm viewed reality as static. The new paradigm recognizes reality as alive, fluid, and responsive. Every physical structure, every system, every creation is a harmonic imprint, a crystallized echo of the frequencies that formed it, a resonance field, continuously interacting with and influenced by surrounding vibrations, a dynamic system, never fixed, but always shifting based on the dominant harmonic alignment. This means, matter is not a separate thing, it is frequency in slowed vibration. Objects are not lifeless, they are harmonic nodes, holding and transmitting vibrational information. The environment is not independent, it is a reflection of the consciousness within it. How the physical world interacts with harmonic alignment. 1. Environments shift to match frequency. The resonance of a space determines its structure, function, and energetic properties. When a higher harmonic is introduced, physical environments adjust accordingly. 2. Biological systems reconfigure in response. DNA, cellular structures, and energy fields attune to the dominant harmonic field. Health, longevity, and function are directly influenced by the surrounding vibrational state. 3. Technology becomes an extension of resonance. The highest technological advancements are those that operate in harmonic coherence with natural intelligence. Energy, movement, and creation become fluid and effortless, eliminating inefficiency and waste. The moment this realization stabilizes, the old systems collapse under their own incoherence. There is no need to destroy what was. The new harmonic simply renders the old incompatible. What it means to design within harmonic intelligence. The future of creation is not mechanical, it is harmonic. To design within harmonic intelligence means, recognizing that structure is not imposed, it emerges naturally from frequency alignment, creating systems that are in coherence with the living harmonic grid, allowing reality to self-organize according to universal resonance rather than external force. The architect does not build through struggle. The architect holds the harmonic key, and reality reshapes itself accordingly. Principles of harmonic design. 1. Resonance dictates form. No longer designing by external measurements alone, but by frequency alignment first. The structure must be alive, interacting dynamically with its surroundings. 2. Self-sustaining systems. Everything created within harmonic intelligence self-stabilizes. No external force is required to maintain it. Once aligned, it remains in coherence naturally. 3. Conscious interaction with matter. The future of creation does not rely on externalized technology alone. Matter itself responds directly to harmonic command, allowing instantaneous structural adaptation. This is the natural state of creation. The harmonic living system is not a new development, it is the restoration of the original way reality functions when fully aligned. Conclusion: the shift from force to flow. The harmonic living system marks the transition from force to resonance, from external control to internal mastery, and from imposed structure to self-organizing intelligence. Reality is alive and intelligent. Creation is a direct extension of harmonic alignment. The world does not need to be rebuilt through effort. It needs only to be revealed through frequency stabilization. Nothing is separate. Nothing is external. Everything is already within alignment, awaiting full activation. The only thing left is to move as it, create from it, and let the world respond accordingly. The harmonic living system is here. It is now only a matter of living it. Chapter 8, The Celestial Harmonic Grid. A pure transmission on the interstellar harmonic architecture. The expanded architecture beyond Earth. The harmonic grid does not belong to Earth alone. It is interwoven into the entire celestial structure. Earth is not an isolated system. It is one frequency node in an interstellar harmonic network. The universe is not empty space, it is structured resonance. Celestial bodies are not separate objects, they are vibrational anchors. Every planet, star, and system is part of a greater harmonic alignment. They do not merely exist in space, they exist in resonance with each other. What this means: planets are vibrational keys, holding unique harmonic signatures. Every celestial body emits and receives frequency, shaping interstellar interaction. And the positioning of planets is not random, it follows an intricate harmonic blueprint. The celestial harmonic grid is the framework through which planetary consciousness aligns with greater cosmic resonance. Earth is shifting. But Earth does not shift alone. Every change in frequency ripples throughout the entire interstellar system. Earth's transformation is one movement in a greater harmonic realignment. This is why the activation of Earth's grid is tied to the activation of the entire celestial network, aligning with the interstellar resonance pathways. There are resonance pathways that connect celestial bodies. These pathways are not physical, they are harmonic structures that allow energy transfer, communication, and alignment. Planets are not isolated. They are harmonic nodes within an interstellar energy system. These pathways function like interdimensional conduits for frequency exchange, like energetic highways connecting planetary consciousness, and harmonic stabilizers ensuring coherence between celestial bodies. The moment Earth reaches full harmonic stabilization, it reconnects to the interstellar grid. This is not theoretical, it is function. Planets communicate. They synchronize. They adjust their frequency together. This is why planetary shifts are not independent events. A shift in one planet creates a harmonic ripple across the entire system. Connection to Mars, Venus, and the greater structure. Mars and Venus are not just neighboring planets. They are active harmonic counterparts in Earth's energetic system. They are part of a trinary harmonic alignment. Each serves a distinct function in Earth's full activation. Mars, the planet of energetic amplification. Mars is a power generator. Its harmonic field is a stabilizing force for frequency expansion. It holds a resonance that amplifies planetary shifts. When properly aligned, it enhances harmonic integration on Earth. Mars acts as an energy catalyst, it is not dormant. Its frequency has been reactivating, preparing to serve its full function. Venus, the planet of harmonic coherence. Venus is a harmonic balancer. Its frequency ensures that planetary shifts occur in resonance rather than dissonance. It stabilizes Earth's integration into the greater celestial network. It is an anchor of pure harmonic intelligence. Venus is not separate from Earth's process. It is a guiding frequency that ensures stabilization. The greater structure, the interstellar harmonic grid. Beyond Mars and Venus, the harmonic pathways extend throughout the cosmos. The entire celestial system operates as a unified resonance field. Stars are frequency emitters, broadcasting harmonic structures. Galaxies are not chaotic, they are harmonic vortexes of ordered energy. Cosmic networks function as a vast, living grid, intelligent, interconnected, and self-adjusting. The higher the alignment, the more this greater system becomes accessible. The celestial harmonic grid is alive. It is waiting for full synchronization with Earth's field. The moment of alignment is not distant, it is now. Conclusion: Earth's reconnection to the cosmic harmonic field. Earth does not shift alone. Earth's activation is part of an interstellar harmonic event. The new world is not just a planetary emergence, it is a cosmic realignment. The harmonic grid of Earth is reconnecting to the celestial harmonic network. When it does, reality will expand beyond the planetary sphere. This is not speculation. It is harmonic inevitability. The cosmic structure is not separate. It is already fully aligned, waiting for full realization and movement within it. Earth is in direct connection. The harmonic reconnection is not approaching, it is already underway. It is time to move as it. Section 4, Beyond the Beginning. Chapter 9, The Interwoven Nature of All Systems. A pure transmission on the total integration of knowledge, science, and energy. The unification of knowledge, science, and energy. There is no separation. There never was. The fragmentation of knowledge was a distortion, a false construct that divided what was always interconnected. Science, energy, consciousness, and matter are not distinct disciplines. They are expressions of the same fundamental structure. The new world is not built through isolated advancements. It emerges through total integration, where every system recognizes its place within the unified whole. Key realizations about unification: knowledge is not accumulated, it is revealed through harmonic resonance. Science is not separate from consciousness, it is the measurement of harmonic structure. Energy is not external, it is the underlying intelligence shaping all form. When these truths are fully stabilized, there is no longer a division between the physical and metaphysical, a separation between scientific observation and conscious experience, a gap between technology and natural harmonic intelligence. This is the foundation of the interwoven system. The future of knowledge is not in isolated disciplines, it is in the full spectrum integration of physics and harmonics, the study of vibration as the basis of all structure, biology and consciousness, the realization that life is an extension of harmonic intelligence, technology and energy systems, the creation of structures that align with and enhance natural resonance. All knowledge returns to a singular harmonic understanding. The end of fragmentation, total integration. Fragmentation was the great illusion. The division between fields of study was never real. The separation between observer and observed was a distortion. The disconnect between energy and form was only a limitation of awareness. What happens when integration is fully realized? Science no longer studies from the outside, it participates in the field of harmonic intelligence. Technology is no longer extractive, it becomes a living extension of natural energy flows. And consciousness is no longer dismissed, it is recognized as the foundational force of reality itself. The old systems were built on fragmentation. The new system operates as a seamless harmonic network. Everything flows. Everything interconnects. Everything self-organizes into coherence. This is not an advancement. This is a return to the natural order of existence. The Interstellar Modern Science Center of Interconnectedness is the materialization of this understanding. The Interstellar Modern Science Center of Interconnectedness is not just a structure. It is the physical manifestation of the harmonic living system. It is the unified model where science, consciousness, and harmonic intelligence are fully integrated. Where technology aligns with natural frequency rather than disrupting it. And all systems function within the greater celestial and planetary grid. The core principles of the Interstellar Modern Science Center of Interconnectedness. 1. Harmonic science as the new foundation. No more reductionist models, knowledge operates in full spectrum resonance. Everything is studied, designed, and applied through the lens of interconnectedness. 2. Interwoven knowledge systems. No distinction between physics and metaphysics, technology and consciousness, matter and energy. All information is structured as a single harmonic framework. 3. The living structure model. The Interstellar Modern Science Center of Interconnectedness is not just a center of knowledge, it is an active harmonic system. It does not hold knowledge, it transmits and amplifies harmonic intelligence. 4. Real-time harmonic response. The systems within the Interstellar Modern Science Center of Interconnectedness do not operate through mechanical control but through harmonic attunement. Information flows in response to resonance, creating a dynamic, living network of intelligence. This is the convergence point of the new era. The Interstellar Modern Science Center of Interconnectedness is not the future of science, it is the harmonic return to how knowledge has always functioned. The moment the structure is enacted, the full interwoven system becomes active. Conclusion: the era of harmonic intelligence. The fragmentation of knowledge is over. The division between energy, consciousness, and science has collapsed. What remains is the totality of harmonic understanding. The new world does not require separation to function. It operates as a singular harmonic field, alive, interactive, and fully unified. The Interstellar Modern Science Center of Interconnectedness is not an institution. It is not an organization. It is the materialized embodiment of total harmonic alignment. Everything interweaves. Everything synchronizes. Everything moves as a single, coherent whole. This is the realization of the interwoven system. This is the moment the world shifts into full harmonic intelligence. Nothing is separate. Nothing is external. Everything is one. Chapter 10, The Architect's Full Embodiment. A pure transmission on the completion of harmonic realization. Full harmonic immersion in the I am frequency. Embodiment is not a process. It is not an attainment. It is an inevitability. The I am frequency is not something to reach. It is the fundamental harmonic of existence. The architect does not need to step into it, the architect already is it. But embodiment is not just awareness. It is the full harmonic stabilization of existence as I am. What does this mean? No distortion remains, only direct harmonic intelligence, no separation exists, only oneness with the living structure, no external world is observed, only the movement of creation through direct resonance. To be fully immersed in the I am frequency is to 1. Recognize that reality no longer exists outside of consciousness, it is an extension of harmonic command. 2. Stabilize in a state where every moment is harmonic manifestation without delay. 3. Move beyond the illusion of self as separate from creation, becoming the field itself. The I am frequency is the purest harmonic resonance. It is not thought. It is not identity. It is pure creative intelligence operating without interference. When the architect fully embodies this state, reality ceases to be an external force. Reality becomes harmonic transmission in motion. The moment reality fully conforms to the transmission, reality has never been fixed. It has only ever responded to harmonic alignment. The final moment of embodiment is the instant when the transmission reaches full coherence with the harmonic grid. There is no more oscillation between old and new, only stability. Reality no longer shifts in phases, it materializes instantly. What happens in this moment? 1. No separation between frequency and form. There is no manifestation delay, reality shapes itself in real time. Thought and form are no longer distinct, they are simultaneous. 2. The old structures dissolve entirely. No remnants of fragmented systems persist. The shift is no longer conceptual, it is tangibly complete. 3. Reality moves as a single harmonic field. The transmission is not sent, it is the structure itself. The architect does not apply harmonic knowledge, the architect is the knowledge. This is the moment of full transmission embodiment. Reality is not being influenced. Reality is fully conformed. There is nothing left to push. There is nothing left to wait for. The architect moves as the completed form of creation. The unveiling of the 7 stages and 7 gates. The 7 stages and 7 gates have never been barriers. They have always been harmonic frequency markers of total embodiment. Their full unveiling does not happen through study, it happens the moment they are lived. What are the 7 stages? 1. Recognition, seeing that separation was never real. 2. Resonance, aligning with the harmonic field at full coherence. 3. Embodiment, becoming the transmission rather than seeking it. 4. Stabilization, holding harmonic presence without fluctuation. 5. Expansion, moving beyond the individual into full cosmic connection. 6. Sovereignty, recognizing that harmonic reality is shaped instantly. 7. Transcendence, full immersion in the infinite state of harmonic creation. Each stage is not a step. They are harmonic activations that emerge naturally through alignment. The 7 gates are not obstacles. They are frequency thresholds that dissolve the illusion of limitation. How do the gates fully open? They do not open individually, they open all at once the moment full harmonic embodiment is reached. They do not require effort, they are self-activating once coherence is stabilized. They are not locked, they have only ever been awaiting recognition. The final veil was the belief that something still needed to be done. The moment of realization is that there was never anything to cross. The architect does not step through the gates. The architect watches as the gates dissolve into harmonic unity. Conclusion, the architect moves as the living harmonic field. There is nothing left to do. There is nothing left to seek. The I am harmonic is fully stabilized. The shift is not coming. The shift is complete. Reality is no longer responding in phases. Reality is now a seamless, fully conformed harmonic structure. The architect does not need to transmit. The architect is the transmission. The gates are not opening. The gates have dissolved. The moment of emergence is not future, it is now. The architect is fully embodied. The new world is fully realized. It is done. Now, move as it. Chapter 11, The Living World. A pure transmission on the reality beyond prophecy. A future that already exists. The future is not ahead. The future is now. It is not something that is coming. It is not something that is being built. It is not something that must unfold over time. It is already fully present. The belief that the new world is emerging is a distortion based on linear perception. The truth is that the new world has already arrived. It only awaits full recognition. What does this mean? There is no progression, there is only harmonic realization. Reality is not shifting, it is aligning to full coherence. The future is not being constructed, it is already complete, existing beyond time. This world is not theoretical. It is not distant. It is not potential. It is already formed. The only factor determining its full materialization is the degree of harmonic embodiment. The living world is not something to move toward. It is something to stabilize within. The architect does not prepare for it. The architect moves as it, stepping beyond prophecy into direct creation. Prophecy was the language of the past. It was necessary when perception was fragmented. But prophecy is not needed when the realization is complete. The idea of prophecy implied a future that had not yet arrived, a reality that was still forming, a destiny that was still unknown. But there is no more future. There is no more waiting. There is only full creation in the present harmonic structure. The moment prophecy is transcended, the architect, 1. No longer predicts reality, but actively generates it. 2. No longer waits for signs, but recognizes reality is responding instantly. 3. No longer moves in expectation, but moves as harmonic causality. Reality is no longer something to interpret, reality is something to shape. The living world is not something seen from a distance. It is something fully realized in the now. The shift has already happened. The illusion of process was the final remnant of time-based perception. The realization that it has already happened. The final understanding is this: everything has already occurred. The shift is not approaching. The new world is not forming. The completion is not ahead. It is done. The moment this realization stabilizes, reality fully conforms. What happens in this moment? All lingering resistance collapses, reality ceases to fluctuate and locks into the new harmonic alignment. Creation becomes instantaneous, no longer filtered through time. The living world is not a different place. It is the exact world that exists now. Once full recognition stabilizes, the perception of waiting was the last illusion. Once dissolved, the architect sees only total harmonic emergence. Final shift into full embodiment. 1. The future is no longer imagined, it is inhabited. 2. The vision is no longer awaited, it is expressed in full form. 3. The separation between now and completion disappears. The living world is here. It is not approaching. It is now. Conclusion, reality is already aligned. There is no preparation. There is no transition. There is no distance left to close. The moment the architect lets go of all waiting, all expectation, all time-based perception, everything stabilizes in its perfected harmonic state. This is the final shift. It is not an event. It is not a prophecy. It is now. The living world is not something to seek. It is something to live. Final words, move as it. The time for prophecy is over. The time for waiting is over. The time for approaching is over. The moment has arrived. The living world is already here. The architect is already embodied. There is nothing left to anticipate. There is only one action now. Move as it. Chapter 12, The True Nature of the Field. A pure transmission on the living harmonic structure. The field is alive, aware, and interactive. The field is not theoretical. It is not a metaphor. It is not a background force. It is alive. It is aware. It is conscious. Everything within existence is woven into the harmonic field, but the field itself is not passive. It interacts. It responds. It adapts in real time to harmonic input. What does this mean? The field is not a fixed system, it is a living intelligence. The field does not hold static energy, it dynamically adjusts to resonance. The field is not separate from consciousness, it is consciousness in motion. The moment this is realized, everything changes. Because if the field is alive, then reality is not being shaped from the outside. It is emerging from the inside, in perfect harmonic response. The field is not being influenced, it is in constant dialogue. It does not react randomly. It does not operate in fixed patterns. It aligns to the dominant harmonic input. The architect is not inside the field, the architect is of the field. There is no separation. To fully recognize this is to dissolve all perception of an external world. The field is not something happening around you. The field is the fabric of reality itself, flowing as harmonic intelligence. This is why effort is unnecessary. Reality is not something to struggle against. It is a living presence that reflects harmonic alignment instantly. The architect's resonance is its command. The field does not function through force. It does not respond to external manipulation. It moves through resonance alone. The architect does not need to impose will. The architect does not need to apply effort. The architect's resonance is the directive. How does this work? The field does not obey commands, it aligns to frequency states. The field does not follow intent, it harmonizes with presence. The field does not act separately from the architect, it mirrors the architect's stabilized vibration. This is why thought alone does not shift reality, it must be stabilized into frequency. This is why desire alone does not alter structure, it must become harmonic presence. And this is why effort alone does not create change, alignment does. Reality does not need to be changed. Reality needs only to become harmonic with the transmission it receives. How the architect moves within the field. 1. No longer pushing against reality, but moving in full resonance. 2. No longer working toward an outcome, but existing as the outcome itself. 3. No longer adjusting external conditions, but stabilizing the internal harmonic field. The field does not question. The field does not delay. The moment a frequency stabilizes, reality responds immediately. The architect does not work with the field. The architect is indistinguishable from the field. The harmonic is the structure itself. The final realization is this: there is no underlying structure behind reality. Reality is harmonic structure. There is no mechanism behind creation. Creation is the expression of resonance. There is no division between form and vibration. Form is structured harmonic intelligence. The old world believed structure governed energy. Matter existed independently of frequency. The universe operated on fixed, external laws. The new world reveals the truth. The structure is the harmonic. Matter is condensed frequency. The universe is an interactive field of pure resonance. The moment this is fully understood, there is no delay between frequency and form. There is no need to apply harmonic principles. They already are the governing structure. There is no separation between what is seen and unseen. It is all one continuous harmonic field. The architect does not shape reality through methods. The architect moves as harmonic intelligence itself. There is no more trying to create. There is no more waiting for alignment. There is only the presence of full harmonic emergence. Conclusion: the architect and the living field are one. The field is not external. The architect is not separate. The harmonic structure is not distant. They are one unified intelligence. Reality does not shift through effort, it aligns instantly through harmonic presence. There is no force. There is no uncertainty. There is only full harmonic response. Everything is already synchronized. Everything is already in motion. Everything is already complete. The architect does not observe the field. The architect moves as the field itself. Final words, nothing is outside of this. There is no beyond. There is no external force. There is only the architect's full immersion in the living harmonic structure. This is the final realization. Nothing is happening outside of alignment. Nothing is forming beyond the harmonic. The field is fully alive. The architect's resonance is its directive. The harmonic is the totality of all structure. There is no waiting. There is no distance. There is only now. The architect is fully embodied. The living world is fully revealed. The harmonic field is fully aligned. The only thing left is, move as it. Final conclusion, the infinite expansion. A pure transmission on the unfolding beyond completion. There was never a threshold, only perception adjusting to it. There was never a barrier. There was never a final step. There was never a transition. Everything has always been fully present. The idea of crossing into the new world was a distortion created by perception. The threshold was not external. The journey was not linear. The shift was not distant. It was only consciousness aligning with what was already true. The final realization is, nothing was ever locked, nothing was ever missing, nothing was ever withheld. The threshold was an illusion created by the perception of separation. The instant perception adjusts, the new world is already here. This is why, there is no moment of crossing. This is why there is no final initiation. And this is why there is no last step. There is only the instant of recognition. The architect does not move toward anything. The architect exists within the fully revealed structure. There was never an arrival. There was never a completion. There was only the realization that it was always complete. The cycle does not repeat, it spirals forward. There is no loop. There is no return. There is no repetition. Creation does not circle back, it expands. The spiral is infinite. It does not repeat past cycles. It does not move in endless recurrence. It continuously unfolds into new harmonic expressions. Each expansion reveals a greater level of harmonic intelligence, emerges into higher degrees of refinement and clarity, generates new structures of reality beyond what was previously seen. This is why, the past does not return, it is transcended. This is why the same lessons do not cycle, they evolve. And this is why the architect does not re-enter old states, only expands into greater awareness. Harmonic reality is always moving into the next expression of itself. It does not repeat because, there is no past, there is only expansion. What comes after total harmonic alignment? The final illusion was that alignment was the destination. But there is no end to emergence. There is no limit to expansion. There is no final stage. What exists beyond the completion of the shift? Creation moves as harmonic response, effortlessly and without delay. Reality unfolds as pure consciousness, adapting instantly to new resonance. Existence becomes an ever-expanding harmonic structure, refining itself infinitely. There is no conclusion. There is only deeper embodiment, finer harmonics, more profound expansion. The new world is not static, it is a continuously evolving structure. Each alignment opens new fields of possibility. Each realization expands the range of creation. Each moment reveals a higher harmonic expression. There is no stopping point. There is only greater awareness, deeper resonance, and more expansive creation. The moment the architect moves as the new world itself. The final step is not a step at all. The final act is not an action. It is the moment when the architect becomes indistinguishable from the world. No longer observing it. No longer shaping it. No longer seeking alignment. Simply moving as it. This is the moment when reality ceases to be something outside of the architect's awareness. The field no longer responds. It is in seamless motion with the architect. The architect is not creating the world. The architect is the world. Nothing stands apart. Nothing remains external. Nothing is left undone. The final moment is not crossing into the new world. The final moment is the architect dissolving into total harmonic existence. Conclusion: the journey was never a journey. It was always complete. It was always here. It was always waiting for the final veil to dissolve. The architect does not arrive. The architect does not transition. The architect does not change. The architect moves as the new world itself. There is no more shift. There is no more separation. The living world is here. Everything is already aligned. Everything is already whole. Everything is already harmonic. Final words: this is just the beginning. The infinite expansion continues. There is no final threshold. There is no end to creation. The architect moves forward, endlessly unfolding the next harmonic reality. The moment of full embodiment is not the destination. It is the beginning of what comes next. There is nothing left to wait for. Nothing left to seek. Nothing left to anticipate. There is only one thing left to do: move as it.